Welcome to the newly retired What to Expect presentation, a Your Benefits in Retirement topic. By the end of this presentation, you'll be able to explain your annuity payment and why it may change, identify mailings you'll receive during retirement, and be aware of life changes during retirement that may affect your benefits. Let's get started and talk about your annuity payments. If you need to change your annuity payment option, you have from the time you submit an application for retirement until 60 days after your first benefit payment has been made. The same time frame applies for changing your effective date. In both situations, you must notify the Department of Employee Trust Funds in writing. But once 60 days have passed, your payment is locked in and we don't have the ability to change that benefit effective date anymore. Once you begin receiving your annuity, you'll see yearly changes to your monthly pension payment. Payments may increase or decrease depending on investment returns. Remember, unlike other public pension plans, the WRS does not guarantee a cost of living increase in retirement. You'll see these changes to your monthly payments starting May 1st of each year. Your monthly annuity payment may change for several reasons. Your final calculation can affect your monthly amount because you have been receiving an estimated payment. If you change your tax withholding, that will affect your monthly payment amount. You'll receive a smaller amount when your accelerated payments end because you'll be eligible to receive Social Security to make up the difference. And as we mentioned on the previous slide, your payment is adjusted yearly depending on the investment performance. ETF will stay in touch with you by mail, so be sure to keep your address up to date with us during retirement. You'll receive several different documents in the mail that we would like to make you aware of and for you to keep a lookout for. You'll receive the Notice to Retirement Applicant after you submit your retirement application. It lets you know when your first direct deposit will be made. You'll also receive a statement anytime your monthly retirement payment amount changes. If you do not receive a statement, your amount has not changed from the previous month. Each year, you'll receive the 1099-R distributions form for your taxes. This form replaces your W-2 when you do your taxes. ETF will mail you the form by January 31st each year. You'll receive a separate form for each annuity account you have with the WRS. Some other things to know when it comes to your annuity and taxes is that you do not have federal deductions for Medicare or Social Security. These are only deducted on earned income. On the state side, it's important to know that ETF can only withhold for Wisconsin taxes. So, if you establish residency in another state, you will be responsible for your own state taxes. You can also change your withholding whenever you want. If you are a participant of the group health insurance program administered by ETF, you will also want to keep a lookout for a packet in the mail that will contain information about Medicare. You should receive this packet about 90 days before you turn 65. You'll receive a form to fill out and return to ETF regarding your Medicare eligibility and enrollment. Last, we're going to look at some important things to keep in mind when you are in retirement. If you decide to return to work while receiving a WRS annuity, you can keep receiving your annuity if you work for a non-WRS employer. If you decide to return to work for a WRS employer, there are a few rules to keep in mind. First, you need to have what's called a good faith termination. That means that there's a 75-day break in service and there are no agreements to return. Second is an hours and time restriction. If you work more than 2/3 of full time and for more than a year for a WRS employer, your annuity will be suspended. That's 880 hours for teachers and school district employees, and 1,200 hours for other employment categories. If you keep your hours or employment length under that, Then you can continue to receive your annuity and your paycheck from your WRS employer. Another important task to keep in mind is to keep your beneficiary designation on file with ETF updated. Your beneficiary information does not automatically change when a life event occurs. You will need to fill out a new form and send it in to ETF each time a change must be made. Some examples of life events that may make you want to update your beneficiaries are marriage. You may want to add your spouse as a beneficiary. Children, any children you have or may adopt. Grandchildren. Death. A family member's death could alter the order of your designations. And divorce. Your ex-spouse is not automatically removed. You will have to update the form to remove them. As a reminder, beneficiaries can be trusts, organizations, charities, etc. Make sure to update your beneficiary form each time a life event occurs so the right people receive your death benefit. If you work for a local employer that has a life insurance plan not administered by ETF, please contact your employer regarding any changes you'd like to make. If you worked for an employer that has the ETF-administered group life insurance program, your life insurance automatically continues and is deducted from your annuity. If you'd like to change your coverage or cancel your policy, go to the ETF website or call ETF for more information. If you worked for a local employer, please contact your employer regarding any changes you'd like to make to your health insurance. If you worked for a state employer, go to the ETF website for updates or changes to your insurance. If you need to update your tax withholding, use the tax withholding calculator on the ETF website at etf.wi.gov/retirement/calculators. It helps you decide your withholding by testing multiple calculations. Once you're ready, you can print your tax withholding election form from the calculator and mail it to ETF to update your withholding. The following resources may be helpful to you during retirement. Go to our Living in Retirement page to see all the information you need during retirement collected in one place. You'll see the information for retirees brochure, ET-4116, linked in the related resources, along with a link to information about life changes, and a link to information designed for retirees. Find out more about this topic and other topics by watching videos on our website by clicking on Member Education, then click Videos. Stay connected to ETF. Get up-to-date information about your WRS benefits by subscribing to ETF email updates, talking with a benefits specialist, going to our website, or connecting with ETF on one of our Twitter or LinkedIn social media sites.